Now today I thought I'd make up a really tasty cake. Very simple to do and absolutely scrummy. What we're going to be making is a lemon and fruit drizzle cake. So for making this cake, I'm just going to go through the ingredients, got them all laid out, all measured out. Now what I'm going to use for the cake mixture itself is 225 grams of self-raising flour, 225 grams of butter. Have your butter at room temperature because that will make it easier to mix up when you get your mixer. 175 grams of caster sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 large eggs. Now also I'm going to use the zest, the outside yellow bit of the lemon, 2 lemons. So get your cheese grater, the fine setting, zest the outside, just the yellow bit, add that into the cake mixture. Now I've also got some berries here, a mixture of raspberries and blackberries, and I'm just going to sort of sprinkle those in the sort of cake mixture as you're adding it into the tin, and it means that when you cut into that cake at the end, it's going to look delicious with those berries, and again it'll give it a really nice flavour. So that's the cake mixture. Now once you've cooked your cake, at the end we're going to add the topping over the top. Now what I'm going to use for that is the juice of 2 lemons, so squeeze the juice out. Add 50 grams of caster sugar because you do need to sweeten the lemon juice down a little bit. And then finally, I would say about 100 to 150 grams of, again, blackberries and raspberries. Now what you can do is add those on top. You can squash some of them down and it just dresses it up, makes it look good. And when you serve it up, they've got some nice fresh berries on top and it just makes it look wonderful. So there's all the ingredients, nice simple ingredients. Now what I'm going to do is get myself a bowl and we're going to start mixing up this cake mixture. Now I've got a sieve there and what I'm going to do is just start off with the flour. Now I'm just going to pop the flour in, and what you want to do is from a little height, just shake the flour in. Try and use a big bowl if you can because it just saves the mess, but get that in because it will just make, you know, put a little bit of air into the flour and it should make a slightly lighter cake. So we've got the flour in there. Now next of all, I might as well go with the butter. Let's just try and get that in there. If you find your butter's a little bit hard still, it's just come out the fridge, you can always just pop it in the microwave just for like 10, 20 seconds and that will help to, you know, make it a little bit softer. And again, just going to pop in the sugar there. Now I think what we can do is just start mixing up the mixture and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. Now you could do this by hand, it will work, no problem at all. Or if you've got an electric mixer like I have, then use that. So I'm just going to mix this all together, start off slow, try and get everything mixed together, and you can speed it up a little bit. Now what I'm going to start doing is to add in the eggs. Now with the eggs, I put mine in separate bowls so I can do it as I go along, because really what you want to do is add 1 egg at a time. So I'll carry on doing that with all 4 eggs. And next of all, I'm going to put the vanilla extract in there. And also, I'm going to put the zest of the lemon. Now really, we can speed this up a little bit. And I would say you want to really do this for a couple of minutes or so until everything is nice and creamy and nicely mixed up. There you go. Just get that off the end. Perfect. So now I've got that mixture done, it's ready to go in the cake tin. Now I'm just going to switch my oven on and get the oven preheated. Now I've got my cake tin here and I've also got this parchment paper which I've just form the shape of it. You know, you press it down and squash it down and eventually get the shape there. The parchment paper is really good because it's heat proof and again it helps to prevent the cake from sticking to the tin, and also at the end you can always lift it out, makes it nice and easy. Now what I'm going to do is with that, some of that leftover butter, I'm going to wipe that round the inside, so probably use half that butter and I'm just going to wipe that around the inside. So I've got the butter on the inside. Now next of all, with this mixture, I'm just going to put in, try and put in about 1/3 of it to start with. Just enough to get a bit of a layer. So spread that out right to the edges and then we can add in some of the berries. Now you can put in whichever ones you want, where you like. That'll do us. Just put one more there. And again, go over the top with about another third of the mixture, and we're going to kind of build it up. That's it. Just got the last bit of the mixture in there. So what I'm going to do now is just make sure it's all around the edges, all the corners, and smooth it out. There you go. That'll do us. Now what you can also do is just give it a quick shake. Just try and get rid of any air. Settles it down a little bit. Perfect. So now that is ready to go in the preheated oven. Now my oven's just come up to temperature, so I'm going to place the cake in the oven. But before I do that, I'm just going to put it on a baking tin because it'll just make it a lot easier to get in and out. So let's place that in the preheated oven. Now temperature wise, I've got mine at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 6. Now what I say cook time, you want to cook for about 1 hour. I might check it just before then, but I would say you're looking at about 1 hour. It should be nice and golden brown on top, and what we're going to do is test it with a skewer or a knife just to make sure it's nicely cooked all the way through. So I'm going to leave that cooking, set your timer, say for about 50 minutes, and then you can check it after 50 minutes. Now I've had the cake cooking in total for 1 hour exactly. I did test it at 50 minutes, 50, and the centre of it, let's just check that. I reckon that's pretty good. Beautiful. I reckon that's all done. So what I'm going to do is pull that out, place it on a table, and then we're going to add the rest of the mixture. So I've just taken it out of the oven and it smells absolutely wonderful. The aromas, oh, just beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is, whilst I'm waiting for that just to cool down slightly, I'm going to put in the lemon juice in a bowl, and also going to put in the sugary mixture. Now let's just give that a quick stir, because it's good to make sure this mixture is about right. So give it a quick stir, and I'm just going to try a little bit of that. I think we could sweeten it up just a little bit more. So it's worth having just a little bit of extra sugar in case. Let's use a fork. Lovely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in all the fruit that is going to go on top. Mix that around. That's going to be good. Just leave that for a minute. Now what we're going to do next is, with a fork, the same fork, just go and just really squash the crust all over. Give it a good squashing down. I know it seems like you're ruining the cake, but we're not, because what you want to do is to make lots of little holes so that you can get that beautiful mixture over the top. More holes the better, really. There you go, lovely. Now next of all, I've got this mixture here, which obviously we've just mixed all up. Give it a final stir, and I'm just going to put that on top like that. Just grab those, put them on top. Now what we can do, again with the fork, is just squash that down a little bit. Just so it doesn't all roll off when you serve it up. I've got just a couple of little raspberries left, which might as well use those. Just pop those on top. I've got a couple of blackberries left as well. So give it a final squash down. And you'll find when we take this out, it's just going to look wonderful. Now we have got a little bit of that juice left, so don't waste any of that. Sort of syrupy juice. Just pour it all over. Lovely! Now what I am going to do is just leave that now to cool right down, and then we can pull it out of the tin, cut a slice, and we're going to try some. There you go. I think that looks scrummy yummy. What do you reckon? Now I've left the cake for just over half an hour and I don't think I can wait any longer. Now it hasn't completely cooled down. It's still a little bit warm, but I am going to take this out. So using the parchment paper around the edge and be very kind of gentle. Just sort of like gently lift it up. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try and put this onto a separate plate so I can serve it all up. So, let's see if we can put it on here gently. Just going to unwrap it. It's like a Christmas present. Look at that. Just fold this away. Oh, that come out lovely. So I've got this beautiful cake and I am just going to cut off a slice. So I'm going to go for a nice, good size slice there. Oh. Let's have a look what's in there. Oh, look at that. Got some nice bits of fruit in there. Absolutely lovely. Now I'm going to serve that up on a plate and try some. Now I'm just going to use a fork. Oh, it's lovely and moist, lovely and moist. And look at that, with a bit of fruit in there. Oh, absolutely wonderful. Let me just try that. Do you know, it would be so nice with a cup of tea, cup of coffee. Round the edge, you've got like a slightly crusty surface. The fruit is beautiful. It's not too sweet. It's really, really moist. That is absolutely delicious. Anybody who likes cakes will love this cake. It's fruity. It's got the lemon flavour. It's a bit zesty, but not too much. It's sweet, but again, you know, it's a good balance. That is absolutely delicious. And obviously serve it with a bit of cream, bit of ice cream. You really can't go wrong. Thanks for watching my videos. I'll see you in the next one. The Original Naked Chef.